Everybody wonders why I don't wear a prosthetic arm. Well, I actually have two, but I hadn't had one in over 24 years. It was early in the mid 2000s, the last arm I got, and I had it built in Mississippi, in Jackson, Mississippi. And they actually let me have some collaboration in the design of the arm and the part that fits my arm. So today I'm going to show you, I'm going to try to show you how this arm prosthetic works, but it doesn't work, so I'm going to do the best I can. So here's my prosthetic arm, and it has a cable in the back and it hooks onto that strap. And if you notice in that cup, I had that put in there so it would help, because I wear it underneath my shirt, even though today I'm going to show you what it looks like, what it would look like underneath my shirt strapped onto me. Before I do that, I just remembered I want to show you, I have my shoulder, my joint, I just don't have the arm. And I had about this much left, but it didn't have any bone, so they had to, it was just flesh, so they had to cut it off to fit me so for a prosthetic arm, because that would have been in the way. So they just kind of cut that, and it's kind of just a circle, and all my nerve endings are here. So the way this thing works is I put it on my shoulder like that, and I grab this strap, and right here I have a hook to hook it to. And when I first got this thing, you see this right here? So when I first got this, I had another belt that fit around my stomach, and it had neoprene that was sewed over this type of strap. But it was very hot, very uncomfortable, and it had a loop, and this was hooked to that belt that went around me, because this movement, like when I do my shoulder up like that, it'll pull on that and unhook my elbow. So when my elbow is locked and I do the same movement like this, but I do it like that, which it's not working, so when I get it lower I can make it open and close a little bit. But when I do that movement with the elbow locked, the hook would open. Now when the elbow's unlocked, it shouldn't open. So this hook actually has 2 rubber bands on it, and that's what most people use, but I always use 6 rubber bands, because the more rubber bands you had, the better of a grip you could get. Plus, I used to take Coke cans and stuff in it and smash it and tear them apart, and it was cool when I was younger, and it would impress people. So it was harder to open, but I got to show off a little bit. So the way this thing works is, like I said, this strap here is hooked to that cable behind me. And then when I do that motion, you see how I unhook that elbow? Okay, and then I do that again, and then the elbow's locked here. Well, once I lock it, that same motion, I can open it. See it? It's opening. Now, I used to open it this far. And with more rubber bands on it, you talking about pop now. It was scared little kids, so I had a lot of fun with it. But when you open this, right in here, you see the grip. You see it helps you grip it. And this little deal here, you could put a knife right here and close it, and you could move your shoulder, and you could cut meat or whatever. You stab your fork and cut the meat. Or right here, it's got a little groove here, and you could put your pencil here, and I could write, but I just have to move my whole shoulder. And this hook right here, this is very innovative. Back in the day, they used to just would freely turn, but they made it where you could actually move it, and then wherever you want it, you just hit it back. Well, this thing, the hook is coming out. Let me just try to fix it real quick. But okay, now it locked that hook in place so it won't move. So this thing is outdated, but they still use this hook, and it is helpful. And if you had your elbow, and you had a hook, there's nothing that you can't do. But with this, me missing this part of my arm and my elbow, I'm limited. But they have biotic arms now that would probably be really useful to me. And they say they have them where you can even tell if something's hot or cold. You can actually have feelings, and they have a chip. And all my nerve endings are here. So I can actually feel, I can move my hand and my arm and stuff. My hand and my wrist, I can turn my wrist. I feel like I can, even though you can't see it. It's called phantom pain, but all my nerve endings that went to my fingers and my wrists and everything, they're there. So I still have fire shooting to them, so I'm pretty sure that I could be fitted with a chip. I always wondered, Elon Musk, he's come up with everything. I would like to be like Iron Man. I wish he would make me an arm that they make those teeth now that they what do they call them? Anyways, they screw them into your mouth and they stay in. They're false teeth, but they call it implants. And they implant. Well, I wish Elon would make me an arm that you could just strap on. You could put it on and inside my shoulder. Once I strapped that joker on, it would automatically screw in my arm, and they would have things inserted so that arm would stick to me, and I'd just walk up to it and it'd be on, and then I could just go use my biotic arm any way I want it to. But that's a dream. But that's a big imagination, ain't it? But they do make a lot of arm prosthetics that's way more advanced than this. I have learned to do without a prosthetic for years. So, because mine hadn't worked, and I've tried to fix it and try to adjust the stuff, but it's just worn out over the years. You can move. I used to fly fish with it. I had they used to call them electric reels, but it wasn't anything electric. It was spring-loaded fly reel, and I would hook my rod with my prosthetic arm and hold my rod, and I'd let out my line, and I would hold it with my pinky, and I unhook my arm, and as I casted it, I'd let a little bit out every time, and then I'd hook it back and let some more line out, and then I'd release it and let more out until I got it to where I wanted it. And I used to catch trout doing that. And I used to use spin cast reels where when I would throw my pole out, I would hook my arm and I would start reeling with it, I used it a lot if I needed to tote a bucket or something, I could hook it around that hook. I could turn on and off a light switch. I could, like I said, cut my meat. I could write my name with it. See, I have my shoulder, and everything's there. It's just not my arm. So if I had my elbow, man, I would be unbelievable if I had my elbow. But I still think I done pretty good. 37 years without an arm. I've accomplished a lot in my life. So that's just something I wanted to share with you with my prosthetic arm and why I don't wear a prosthetic arm. And I'm going to show y'all a lot of things in my videos on how I do stuff with one arm. I'm going to show you how to tie a shoe with one arm. If there's a will, there's a way. And you can do anything you set your mind to. I try to drill that in everybody because life does get frustrating sometimes. But every time you feel sorry for yourself, think about this. It's always somebody in worse shape than me or you. So just be humble. Be thankful for what you have. Like, subscribe to my video. I very much appreciate it. And when I don't have my prosthetic, I have a wife that's my right arm. She helps me do everything, and I'm thankful for her. And I got a good woman. So don't feel sorry for me. I'm not looking for sympathy. I just sharing my life with you. And Some things aren't always easy because it makes me relive things, but I'm thankful to be here and thankful to be able to share in hopes that it may help you and give you the encouragement to try things that you've been scared to try. Thanks again.